Hey guys, and welcome to the Laundry Chat podcast, a place where we help each other sort out life's laundry. My name is Molly Marco, and today we're going to talk about an issue that none of us really want to talk about, but it's eating disorders. I feel like eating disorders get decorated kind of a lot today, especially with social media. It's kind of the pretty sickness to have. You lose weight, you look thinner, you look like the people on the cover of magazines. And there are two reasons that I hate talking about eating disorders. The first is that I don't want people to think in any way that I am bragging about my eating disorder or doing this for attention or using it as a badge that I show off. Because, like I said, it is something that seems to be more almost decorated or celebrated, sort of. I don't want it to be something that I am, I never want it to be something that it makes it seem like I'm better because I had an eating disorder or something. I know that sounds weird, but I know that sometimes I just don't want it to come across like that. So that's why I don't really like talking about it a lot. And that's, partly why I made this podcast this episode, so that I can kind of show you the ugly side of an eating disorder that maybe not a lot of people know about. And the second reason why I hate talking about eating disorders is because, it's hard for me to talk about because it's still hard for me. I still am recovering. It's still something that I have to deal with every day. I'm not completely healed from it. I'm not completely healthy all the time. It's still hard for me every day. I don't know. So I always kind of feel like when I'm saying these things that I'm kind of, lying in a way because I don't always do these things and I don't always believe these things. So just know that I'm coming from that place. I'm coming from a place of, saying these things out loud for me is also healing for me. Even though, it's not coming from a place of already been healed. This is stuff that I need too. So, I'm not going to tell you the full story of my eating disorder. Basically all you need to know is that 2.5 years ago, I went into inpatient treatment for my eating disorder. I feel like my story, while I might do that in a different episode, isn't much different than anyone else's. No matter how I got there, and it was just it was not a pretty time. And so I'm going to go over four reasons why eating disorders and having one isn't very pretty. I'm not going to go over those for very long. Just to kind of get it out of your mind that this is something that you would ever want. You never want to bring yourself to that spot. And then I'm going to talk to you about 4 reasons why you are pretty. A lot prettier than anything that happens when you have an eating disorder. And why you don't need one. Trust me, I wish I didn't have to deal with this. I wish I could use my, time and my thoughts towards something else. So, yes. Anyways, enough of me babbling on. Let's get into it. So, one reason why eating disorders are not pretty is because when you go into inpatient, so you go into the hospital place and you get a room and you're basically in jail. I just felt like I was in jail. You have to pee in a cup every single day, at least for the first couple week that you're there. And literally you have to have whenever you go to the bathroom, you have to ask. You have to pee in the tray. The nurse has to stand by the door and literally watch you pee. A lot of girls some girls, they you could a lot of girls throw up, or they sometimes will harm themselves, so that's why the door has to be open. And then peeing in the cup to make sure your vitamin, I don't know. All I knew is that I peed in a cup a lot. And it was just horrible. Even in the middle of the night, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go find a nurse. She has to open up the door for you. it's horrible. It's awful, and you feel just like you're not even like a person anymore. And the worst part is that like you kind of chose this in a way. I know that eating disorders are, like a mental disorder, but there is that confusion of like, I chose this, but it's also like a sickness I have. So yeah, peeing in a cup is not fun. Not worth it. The second thing that is really ugly about eating disorders is when you are an inpatient, you like all eat together, and the tables that you eat on are glass tables, so that you can't like sneak food under there. You can't like, I don't know, like be like, I don't know, like you can't like hide food like and take it and like push it. You know what I mean? Like it's a clear glass table. And I just remember there being like these motivational quotes like on the table too, and like all along the walls, and like everyone during dinner, like, or like any meal, you're like getting, like everyone's getting medication, and like I remember having to have, like I never swallowed pills, but I had to swallow so many pills like when I was there. And it was just to get like the nutrients back into you and all that stuff. And I don't know, it was just like in the dinners are times, like everything is timed, so you have to finish your food in a certain amount of time. The nurses, they check to see that you finished everything on your plate. Yeah, it's not fun, not exciting at all. The third thing about eating disorders that's not pretty is that when you're in treatment, you can't go outside. Like I don't know what it is. Like I'm not really even sure really the reasoning for it, but like you can't go outside unless like you're all brought outside with a supervisor, or you get eventually like time like during lunch like to eat outside. And this is why I did yoga, because yoga was outside. And I've never wanted to be outside more in my life. My room was by like and our like by the window where like planes went by, and I would seriously like watch these planes go by and wish that I could just be outside. And I spent actually the 4th of July inpatient, and I watched the fireworks from a window and like heard them kind of like muffling through my window. So you are literally like trapped in your own like mind, in your own body, in your own this own like building, and it's not fun. It's not something that I'm like proud of that I was there. I haven't talked about this really at all in a long time, or really to anyone, but yeah, you can't go outside, and that's the worst thing ever, especially in the summer. And the fourth thing that is bad about eating disorders, when you get to yourself to a point where it's bad, is like you have to get your vitals checked every morning, every afternoon, or at least 2 times a day. And a lot of times it's at 5 a.m. So you're up at 5 a.m. A nurse comes in, checks your blood pressure. You have to put on a gown, get naked, and get weighed every single morning. And there's regular blood drawns, and I hate getting my blood drawn. It is the worst. It was the worst thing ever. I hated it. But I had to do it. I had to get my blood drawn, and yeah. So every morning, 5 a.m., checking vitals, and yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I hope that this, if you didn't know, hopefully it helps you realize what people with eating disorders actually go through. That it's not that we just eat one day and we just keep eating. Especially if you go into treatment, it's a serious thing that isn't fun or pretty. And I'm sorry, I'm probably repeating myself a lot, but yeah, I just hope that helps you kind of understand that if you didn't already know. And if you do know, girl, if you're out of it, if you're in recovery right now, please, let's not go back. I never want to go back there, and I never want any of you guys to go there. Yes, please stay out of that place. Yeah. So let's go into the 4 reasons why you are pretty just the way you are, and you don't need to have an eating disorder, or you don't need to starve yourself, or you don't need to lose 10 pounds. Of course, like, healthy way, yes, like, there is, like, times when you need to lose weight, and it's, like, good and healthy, and it'll bring you back to a better spot. But right where you are right now, you are way prettier than any eating disorder could make you, any diet can make you. You're prettier than... Anyways, I'll get into it. So the first reason that you are pretty is because you have strengths. You have strengths that I would call my weaknesses, or that other people would call their weaknesses, or that other people would take days to figure out, or days to learn, or lifetimes to, like, master. It could either, like, the most important things are in your character. Things like patience. Maybe you're a naturally born leader. Maybe you're an outgoing person and you like to socialize with people. Maybe you're a harmonizer and you like to make sure that everyone feels included. Whatever your strengths are, that just makes you so beautiful. I could start crying right now, honestly, because like people are like, I just admire how beautiful everyone is, and how, like, they don't even know it, you know? Like, I have friends that, you know, I'm like, how are you so, like, calm right now? How are you always so, like, chill around everyone? Or, you know, how are you just so confident all the time? Like, how do you do that? Like, so your strengths make you so beautiful to other people. And I think I've mentioned this before, but because they're your strengths, like, we kind of become immune to them because it's something we do so naturally. So, like, just know that the other people around you are admiring you for those things, even though we don't say it all the time. So thank you for being you, and thank you for using your strengths. Please keep using them because the world needs them. Okay, the second reason that you are beautiful and pretty just the way you are is because you have a smile. And I think you should use it more often. Again, I'm saying this to myself too. And my friend Paisley actually just posted about this on Instagram, about, like, not liking her smile. And I have that same kind of syndrome. Like, I get kind of self-conscious about it, so it's easier to do, like, you know, the soft smile. But honestly, smiling is just, it's like a hug to the rest of the world. And no matter, like, how you look or like, how you feel like you look, you're prettier with a smile. And everyone, like, around you, like, if you're smiling, they just give the smile back, and it makes the other person, like, feel happy too. I don't know. Where was I when I heard this? Like, that, when people are lying, like, you can tell, like, a true smile, by, like, your eyes, when they crinkle and when you smile with them. And people can feel that genuineness that you have, and it's just so beautiful. So keep smiling, keep smiling to strangers in the world, because eventually the world will smile back if they haven't already. Okay, the third reason that you are pretty is because you have a soul, and you are made so, like, you're made not, your soul is so much bigger than what your body can, like, project on this earth. Like, in my opinion, beauty cannot be contained in our bodies, at least true beauty. It's so much bigger than that, so much wider than that. The things that God made you not to be for more than just your body. Your soul is so complex and so loved and treasured, and I just, it's hard to explain, because your beauty will never, your physical beauty will never be as beautiful as your soul inside. And your soul is who you are, and that will always be beautiful no matter what you do to your body. So remember that as you're, you know, like, trying to work out or trying to have a diet, or you're looking in the mirror and you don't like the way you look or the way clothes fit, that it can't change, like, what's inside of you, and who you are as a person, and the truth that God says that you are, you know, fearfully and wonderfully made. and that he made you exactly the way he wanted you to be. And he made the body that you're in. He made that too. And it's beautiful because he made it. Not because of anything you did or anything that you could do. It's already beautiful just by a given. So try not to worry about it too much. And just remember that your soul is something that is not seen, but it's the most beautiful part about you. Okay, and the last reason that you're beautiful is because you are very, very special. And I know that sounds so cliche, but you really are special if you think about it. The background that you have, the knowledge that you have, the talents that you have, the eyes that you have, the hair that you have, the voice that you have, everything about you combined is like no one else on earth. You can't be replaced. You can't be like substituted for. You are special. And I truly, truly mean that. Your individuality and your uniqueness in this world is beautiful, and there will never be anyone like you. For you to, try and to measure up to someone else's standards, or especially to just society's standards, I know this from experience, that you will never see how special you are when you are starving. The special parts about you kind of fade away when you're not nourishing yourself, because the only thing you can focus on is food. And that's so stupid. I just think that eating disorders have a really horrible way of making us, think that we're being better, when it really just makes us a worse version of ourselves. I just hope that you focus on the parts that make you special, and I hope that you put more, that you take a bite and make sure you're filling yourself with the things that just make you you. And that's not how much you weigh or not what you look like. The things that make people attracted to you are, the ways the way that you carry yourself, and the things that you're interested in, and the things that you love. So I guess my prayer to you all is that you do that. Fill yourself with what you love, and fill your thoughts with only the truth that comes from God, which is that He made you for more than to become less. Does that make sense? Like, He made you for more than for you just to think that you need to be lesser and lesser and lesser and smaller and yeah. So yeah. That's all I have for this NEDA Awareness Week. I'm actually really glad that it's this week. To be honest, I've had a lot of struggles lately with this kind of thing, and so, like I said, these reminders are just as much for me as they are for you. So just to recap, why you are super, super pretty is because you have strengths, you have a smile, you have a soul, and you are so, so special. So, I hope this wasn't too long. I don't even know how long this has been, but if you're still listening, thanks you guys so much. It really means a lot, and I hope you just go about the rest of your day just knowing that you're beautiful, and no one can take that away from you, especially you. You can't take your beauty away from you. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I'm actually in my car in a park. And so there's starting to be cars pulling up and people walking around, so I'm gonna go. If you'd like to, you can leave a review on iTunes, just to say what you like about the podcast, or give it a few stars or something, to know that you're listening in. or you can post it on social media. I've seen a couple people post it on their stories, which is super cool. So I'd love to see those and, talk with you guys. But if not, again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope that I see you next week. And we can talk about hopefully a more uplifting topic than this. But either way, I'm glad that we were able to have this little talk. So I love you guys. Thank you for being my friend, and I hope that, someday we'll get this laundry figured out. So bye, you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, so I'm trying to find a place to park so I can record this podcast. I'm hoping that in this little park that there's no one that comes to park next to me. There's this guy plowing though, like he's going like around. It's kind of annoying. You know what would be a good thing is to have like a place like with just rooms that people could just go into. Like the library here, they don't have, like, their library is super small. Like I was there for a while, but so yeah, we'll see if I find another place. Maybe I'll be fine here, but we will see. Actually, maybe I'll move.